بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم ما بعد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله إنه سميع عليم صدق الله العظيم. These are ayat 199 and 200 of Surah A'raf. Ayat 199 and 200 of Surah A'raf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, take the course of pardoning others. Take the course of pardoning others, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and enjoin what is right. وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ, yet turn away from the ignorant and belligerent. Turn away from the ignorant and belligerent. وَإِمَّا يَنْزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ, and should there be an insinuation by Satan to instigate you to do otherwise. And should there be an insinuation by Satan to instigate you to do otherwise, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ, then seek refuge in Allah. إِنَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ, indeed He is all hearing, all knowing. So the ulama mentioned that this ayah is ajma' ayah في القرآن لذكر أهمية مكارم الأخلاق ومكانة مكارم الأخلاق. This is the most comprehensive verse in the Quran with regards to character. The most comprehensive verse in the Quran with regards to character. If a person wants to build his character, wants to know what type of character he should have, this ayah is the most beautiful ayah that approaches it from so many different avenues. Three things have been mentioned here. Number one, خُذِ الْعَفْوَ. Number two, وَأَمَرْ بِالْعُرْفِ. Number three, أَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ. And each one requires much detail, but inshallah briefly we'll cover a little bit about each of these things. Number one is خُذِ الْعَفْوَ. So this includes, when we said take the course of pardoning others, so this is about forgiving people who sin. Rasulullah SAW is being told that forgive those who sin. Be easy on those who are believers. The sinners, forgive them. The believers, be kind and nice to them. And make sure you forego those people who try to cut their ties with you. Continue to make your way to build your relationship with them. وَأَمُرْ بِالْعُرْفِ. This is talking about inviting people towards halal, inviting towards haqq, inviting people towards what's right, lowering the gaze, preparing for the hereafter, all sorts of good things. And أَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ is turning the face away from the belligerent, meaning those people who are looking to pick a fight, those people who are trying to argue with you, and those people who are not knowledgeable about the deen. Stay away from them, meaning you don't become like them. You yourself become educated about your faith, become educated about your Islam, and so forth. So to explain this, we look towards some ahadith to explain all these three characteristics. There's a story about Jabir bin Sulaim. He says, رضي الله عنه, that ركبت قعودي ثم أتيت إلى مكة. I rode my conveyance and I came to Mecca. فطلبت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and I sought the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. فأنخت قعودي بباب المسجد. I made my camel sit by the door of the masjid. فدلوني على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The people there pointed out to me who the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was. فإذا هو جالس عليه برد من صوف فيه طائق حمر. He was sitting there and he had a shawl of wool, and it had small red lines in it, some thread, right, red thread. فقلت السلام عليك يا رسول الله. I said, why does a person talk about the clothing? Why is he talking about the clothing of the Prophet? You notice this is very common. Many narrations, they always talk about what he was doing, where was he sitting, how was he sitting, what he was wearing. And the reason is that the scholars explain is that they want the students and those who listen to this hadith later on know that I am not, adding things or subtracting things. I'm not just imagining things. I remember the minutest detail, exactly where he was sitting, how he was looking, what type of clothes he's wearing. So most definitely, the statements he shared with me, of course I remember that. So this is to show the dhabt, the ability of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ to retain the minutest detail. So then it's obvious that they would retain the words of the Prophet ﷺ. So Rasulullah ﷺ said, وَعَلَيْكُ السَّلَامِ. peace be upon you, فَقُلْتُ إِنَّا مَعْشَرْ أَهْلِ الْبَادِيَةِ قَوْمٌ فِينَا الْجَفَاءِ. He says, we are the people of the desert. We have harshness and hardness within us. فَعَلِّمْنِي كَلِمَاتٍ يَنْفَعَنِي اللَّهُ بِهَا. Teach me some words that Allah can guide me and benefit me through those words. Look at the honesty of this person. Look at the honesty of this person. He's coming, he doesn't know who he is. He says, oh, there's the man. All right. He goes and presents himself to the Prophet ﷺ, and he frankly lays it out. That, you know what, this is my problem. We're hard-hearted. We are kind of stubborn. We have certain characteristics that are known to be of the people of the desert. And, you know, I've come here for help. So this is what a person needs to do. When a person goes to visit someone to say that he went to benefit and learn, our intention should be talab. When we go visit a scholar of deen, when we go visit someone of high standing, you and I, when we go present ourselves, it is not there to go, let's go check him out. Kitne pani mein? Let's go see, you know, how is he doing? Is he up there? Is not up there? Let me figure it out. This is the mentality now it's become, that people like to go, instead of going to benefit, ulta, they try to go see, let me give him a star, 1-star rating to 5-star rating. Let me go give him that rating. And while they walk away with the 0-star rating. So, if a person wants to benefit, he should be humble and say, this is who I am, this is what I've come for, these are my weaknesses, can you help me? Simple as that. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Udnu thalathan, come close. Udnu, qareeb aa jao, udnu, 3 times he said. Again, you learn the etiquette. This is not etiquette. Why do we keep on saying, come close, come close? You know, how come we don't hear this anywhere else? And this is the etiquette. When we want to seek knowledge, when the person who's seeking knowledge does not know, then the teacher must teach. You cannot just give the answer on the way out. Sometimes children come to the madrasa here. Very common, I see that. They'll come first day of class, second day of class, and they'll be holding their shoes in the right hand. They'll be holding their Quran on the left hand. Very, very common. And then, when it's time to put on their shoes, they'll put, Allah forbid, the Quran on the shoe rack. And they'll wear the shoes. Now, if a person says, that's not my responsibility, my class is over, what's going to happen? That's not part of the curriculum. This is the thing, the people don't know. It is a responsibility of the teacher, the murabbi, the father, the mother, the muallim, to teach everything, A to Z. It's because someone obviously messed up 10 years ago. And that's why this kid at this age still doesn't know this basic etiquette. Right? Someone obviously wasn't doing their job. I sometimes mentioned to you, once a person came to me long ago when I started this summer program in the house. And at the end of the summer program, the father came to me and said, bacha, kuch seekha nahi aisa lag raha hai. The kid hasn't learned anything, He has kuch akhlaq, etiquette, he hasn't become a wali. I was waiting for him to become Hassan Basri or Abu Hanifa or something. He's still the same. He's been with you for 6 weeks. So I tried to reason with him. I said, listen, alhamdulillah, I learned something, but it's pretty hard. They're coming fresh from outside. Then at the end I had to say, I said, uncle, dear father, what you were not able to accomplish in 16 years, how can I accomplish in 6 weeks? What you were not able to accomplish in 16 years, how am I supposed to accomplish in 6 weeks? It doesn't work like that. So this is something that from day one, a person has to be mindful of etiquette and akhlaq. So Rasulullah ﷺ taught him. So when our son or daughter speaks to us, if you see something wrong, please don't just give the answer and move on. Teach the etiquette that they missed out. Aajkal ke bacche kharaab hai. How is that going to help by saying the kids of today don't know etiquette? They don't know etiquette because no one's teaching them. If we sit and teach them, then inshallah ta'ala they will know etiquette. So instead of writing them off, actually teach. Teach them. So Rasulullah said, Udnu, come close. Listen, you don't ask from far away the question. You don't yell out a question. You come sit with humbly, you come close. Ye aapki zarurat hai, aapka pet ka dard hai. This is you need me, I don't need you. You come close and sit close and benefit. فَدَنَوْتُ, I came close. فَقَالَ أَعِدْ عَلَيَّ. He said, can you please repeat what you just said? Now, whatever the reason, the Prophet maybe didn't hear it. He said, repeat your request. فَأَعْدَدْتُ عَلَيْهِ. So I repeated the question to him. What was the question? Tell me some few words that can be a benefit to me because I am a person from the desert. فَقَالَ اتق الله. Number one, he said, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اتق الله, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. حقيقة تقوى الله ملاك جميع الخيرات والحسنات. The fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the key to all good in this world. The key to all good in this world. And this is the difference between the laws that are laid out by a government, any government, and the laws that are laid out by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The laws that are laid out by a government, they are practiced upon with enforcement, with the fear of enforcement. And whenever that fear of enforcement is not there, gone. We're not supposed to use our cell phone while driving. Who doesn't know that? But who is amongst us 100% of the time? Lucky, maybe, mashallah, inshallah, there are a few people here. May Allah make all of us from amongst them. Who are not using it. Usually, but you see, if you're driving down and you see the police, all of a sudden, it goes off the hand. Right? It falls under the seat. We know, who doesn't know that we're not supposed to follow the speed limit? We know we're supposed to follow the speed limit. But who amongst us is always under speed limit or at speed limit? Maybe some, but majority are not. When that happens, when we see the police, we stop. So this system, the dunyawi system is such, you really cannot implement it unless and until the enforcer is watching right there. And the enforcer cannot always be there. Enforcer cannot always, because there are only 5 police officers, 10, 15 on duty for that small town. How can you have every mile or every quarter mile a police officer watching? It's not going to happen, not feasible. So in essence, you see that the rules, the ahkam, the laws of this dunya are always naqis, they are incomplete. Because they're made up by people who are naqis, incomplete. Human being is naqis, is jahil. And the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are complete. Why? The laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are based on khashiyah, fear of Allah. And Allah is everywhere. In a sense, meaning Allah is all aware of it. Not to say, let me correct myself, it doesn't mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everywhere. Because when you say Allah is everywhere, we sometimes tell our kids Allah is everywhere. So then, this is a little aqidah issue, but I'm adding it here. Because sometimes when you say Allah is everywhere, that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in this masjid. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also in the hallway. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here and there. What does that mean? Everywhere is a where. Har jagah. Har jagah is a jagah, right? At the end of the day. Kullu makan is a makan. Everywhere is a where. It's a place. Now we've taken Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is timeless and who is spaceless, who is free of above and beyond jihad and sides and directions, and we put him into a container. Although this container is massive, as big as the earth, as big as the heavens of the earth and Milky Way and the whole universe, but still we have made la mahdud mahdud. We have made infinite into finite. You understanding what I'm saying? Okay? So this is incorrect to say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everywhere. Because now we're taking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who's timeless and who's spaceless, and now we're putting him into space. Because everywhere is still finite. There is still some coordinates. There's still a certain amount of mileage, whether a trillion, gazillion light years, whatever you can call it, but it still will end. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no ending. So we cannot put him into this box, which is called the world. That's why we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Allah has all-encompassing knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all-encompassing knowledge. This is how we would say it. So khair, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has all-encompassing knowledge. He sees everything. That is why even at home, if someone is misusing his eyes, on the street someone is looking at that which is not permissible, at the masjid someone is looking at that which is not permissible, there's no enforcer there. But it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ensure that this person doesn't commit this mistake. That is why, coming back to the aspect of taqwa. Taqwa and the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a repeated theme so much in the Quran. Because if someone is blessed to have taqwa, his problems are solved. It's not possible. Look at a little kid, when he knows his parents are looking, look at mashallah, the khushu and khudu. And as soon as the parents are gone, look at it, up and down, kiss the ground, right? Real fast and quick. That if you tell him, jaldi paro, read quickly, he can't because he knows his parents are looking. If he says, come on, hurry up, gotta go play. But he says, no, my mom and dad are looking. I remember a classmate of mine back when I was studying overseas. Sometimes we'd say, bhai, we have to go somewhere. We have to go, after Asr, we have to go. After Maghrib, we have to go to the store. Jaldi, sunnat par lo. Jaldi farigh ho jao, then we'll go. Pray quickly, and we'll go. This guy had an amazing sense of humor, non-stop joking, laughing. He was a classmate of mine. Oh, but if anyone were to tell him, jaldi namaz par lo, quickly, sunnat, he would get upset. And he would say, bhai, main jaldi namaz nahi par sakta hun. Jana hai to jao. If you want to go, go. I cannot pray my fast, my salah quickly. I just can't. What's going on? That person, he feels Allah looking at him and he's looking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can I pray fast when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually looking at me and I'm looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What's wrong with you? How can you even come up with this suggestion? So how come our salah is so naqis? Allah forgive us. In our concentration in salah, in taraweeh and everything else. All of us, I'm at the top of this list. From all of us who have a suffer problem, is because that genuine istihdar that Allah is looking at me and I'm looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not present. The taqwa is not present. The khashya is not present. If that is there, then our salah will come right. So the Prophet ﷺ then said, ittaqillah. Number one is ittaqillah. Number two, وَلَا تَحْقِرَنَّ مِنَ الْمَعْرُوفِ شَيْئًا. He said, do not look down upon any good deed. Koi neki ko haqir mat samjho. Do not look down upon any good deed. Meaning, like I just spoke after 4 rakats, I said, put that $1. Don't say, $1 se kya hoga? You know, you can't even buy a light bulb. Or what? You don't worry about it. If that's all, or Allah forbid, worse than that, a person next to you is giving $1, and you're saying, khamaha. For what? What are you giving this? Or he's taking 25 cents. I'm serious, he's putting 25 cents. Allah forgive all of us. If we see someone putting pennies or quarters, what thought crosses our mind? Dekho bhai, gaadi se pura change lekar aake masjid mein de rahe hain. He's, cleaning up his car. He's putting his, stuff that he wouldn't want to take care of in the car, he's throwing it in the masjid. These thoughts, shaitan will put in our heart. Make istighfar. Say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That just, you don't know what the situation may be of this person. Who am I and who are you to judge? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala today might forgive him just on that. لا تحقرن المعروف شيئا. Don't look down upon anyone else's good deed for sure. But don't look down upon your own good deed either. So if you have an opportunity to drop someone off at the gas station who needs to go, he needs someone gas. For example, small thing I'm telling you. Don't think, what's the point of this? You never know. That small little effort of extra 2 minutes that you're driving to drop someone off at their house might just do it for you. That just might be do it. So then Rasulullah ﷺ gave some practical examples of what type of things. He said, وَأَن تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ مُنْبَسِطٍ. He said, for example, to meet your brother with a smiling face. You just got off the phone, stressful. The banker said something, the relative said something, the wife said something, whatever the case may be. Stress happens. Then someone walks into your office, someone walks in the masjid. How do you look at him? How do we look when we're under stress? The guy, when he looks, he just walks back quietly. He said, "Bhai, let's get out of here. This seems like a problem." Just by reading our face, he sees that this is something, a pataka is about to burst right now, right? This firework cracker is going to go off right now. Let's get out. He can just see, he can read our face. We know that. We even trip on them sometimes. And then the lucky ones amongst us go find that person afterwards and say, "Sorry man, you know what? I had a bad day. I just got off the phone. I heard some bad news. That's why I tripped on you. I didn't mean to do that." The good ones, the lucky ones. The rest of us is like, yeah, tough luck. Roadkill. Why'd you come in front of me? At the wrong time, wrong place. You know what I'm saying? Roadkill, wrong place, wrong time. The poor thing, you came across me when I had a bad day. You shouldn't have come across me. It's like we're cutting the grass. If whatever comes in with a big mower, whatever comes in, we're going to cut it. So you come my way, I'm going to cut you as well. Rasulullah sallallahu saying, force yourself. When you just heard the sad news, don't put your sadness onto the person who's coming in front of you. Control that sadness. Force a smile on your face and say, "Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah." Or whatever he says, say, "Yes, here you go." Don't look down upon this. This is something small. Rasulullah rather in one hadith, if I'm not mistaken, he said, أفضل الصدقة, one of the best forms of sadaqah is تدخل السرور في قلب أخيك, أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, is to make your brother happy. किसी भाई को खुश करना, राज़ी करना, ये तो सबसे बड़ा, ये बेहतरीन sadaqah है. Imagine if someone starts off our day today and says, "Today, inshallah, my goal is to make 3 people happy." Someone who is not smiling, I'm going to make him smile. Huh? You remember this non-Muslim who was putting on the ajib, he's working on the electricity outside, and he's putting on the LED lights outside. Just the other day, before Maghrib, I saw him, or was it sometime during the day, non-Muslim. He met my father, and then he said, he paid him or whatever, he was leaving, and he said, "Sir, are you okay? I miss you. I don't see you smiling today." That's what he said. He said, "I don't see you smiling today. Why are you not smiling? I really like your smile." Not random person, but he wants that. He's missing that because it makes his day. So he explained his situation. He said, "I'm sorry, I was just the same thing. I was thinking about something else, because of something else was not working in the masjid. Something went wrong. I forgot what that was. And, I was preoccupied with that." Preoccupation, but let me say another thing, because this is a sickness that we all have. Some of the things that keeps us very preoccupied is cell phone, right? And I'm the first one to acknowledge about that we're so preoccupied. But I want to tell you what grave mistakes we can make. While we're on our cell phone, we can, of course, have a car accident, which is horrible, which is happening. Even the train drivers are having car accidents nowadays, right? Train engineers. But recently, a person, just on Friday, I led Jummah Salah, and I'm sharing you this to a learning experience, because I felt so bad for that person. I said, "Ya Allah, I hope agla gira pishla samla." That guy slipped. I don't want to make a mistake like this. Because I don't know how I would spend the rest of the day if I made a mistake like this. He was on his phone like this, and I was walking out of Jummah Salah, and he shook hands with me. And he said, "Assalamu alaikum." He knows me. I said, "Okay, inshallah, see you, sometime at Darussalam the last 10 nights or something like that." And then he's like, oh, sorry, I heard about your mother passing away. You know, I heard about that. You know, may Allah make it easy for you. And he walked away. I was like, okay, whatever. I kept quiet. I was like, you know, his thing. I went outside, I was talking to someone else, but after 2 minutes later, he turned around. He came back to me outside. He said, oh, he found me. I was incidentally standing there still, talking to someone. He said, brother, I'm sorry, I thought you were Mufti Kamani. I got confused while I was on the phone. Right? Now, that's a grave mistake. Okay? And then he's like, sorry, I was talking to my wife, she was telling me to do something. I said, yeah, all wives will tell us the same thing. Of course, they'll tell us to do something. But the thing is, you don't have to engage in a conversation when you're talking to your wife and she's telling you a list of things to do after Jummah. Salam karo, move on. You know, you don't have to talk if you don't talk. But the fact that you try to make this comment, I could have taken it really in a very, very negative manner. You get what I'm trying to say? So we have to learn also about this type of thing, that when we are engaging people, we have to be concentrating. If we cannot because we're busy, then please don't engage anyone. Just move on. Salam and chalte jao. You're not going to get questioned, why did you not talk? But you will be questioned if you say some foolish statements like this. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't look down upon even if it means smiling at your Muslim brother. Okay, number 3. Number 2 rather. وَأَن تَفْرُغَ مِن دَلْوِكَ فِي إِنَاءِ الْمُسْتَسْقِي. To pour down from your bucket into a person who came with a